like it's just hard sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't grow up with the entrepreneurial mindset, and so when people think you own a business, like they just see the work part of it, right? Like they just see us out taking the pictures at the wedding, you know, but they don't see all the back end, the behind the scenes.
My kings and queens, it is Jamar Denzel here with the LGR Let's Get Real podcast. On today's episode, we have my good guy, my good friend, Demetric of United Photography, a local wedding production company here located in the DMV area, and an Eagles fan. So,
yes, sir.
How you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing great.
You doing great? We're gonna
yes, sir.
This is the first episode.
Not the first episode,
but first episode with me and you.
Exactly.
In the studio space.
I like it.
Studio space DMV. We've been working hard to set this up together.
I like it. I like it.
So for the show, I like to start over with an icebreaker, right?
All right, let's do it.
So the first icebreaker question I got for you is, what's a time period in your life that you would like to go back and experience? You can't change anything, but you can experience it. What time would that be and why?
My 11th grade year, high school.
That is one of the best years in high school.
Hands down.
It is for anybody.
You know what's funny? You're not the first person that's asked me that.
That question?
Yeah,
that's a random question to ask.
No. I guess because like at the end of the day, everyone at some point idolizes the past, right? Mm-hmm. And if you've been fortunate enough to have like a good upbringing, then of course like there is points in your past that you want to go back to. But I would say high school, 11th grade. Man, it was like no worries, played football, had good friends, just like no responsibilities, you know? And like specifically like that year, like it was just a lot of good things that happened. You know, even like I remember going into 11th grade, the summer before 11th grade, like even that summer, I just remember having the best summer. I was like, yeah, this year about to be crazy.
What position you played football?
Man, so I played outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
For most of my...
And you played the entire high school career?
Yep. I started in 8th grade.
8th grade, okay.
Yeah, I started in 8th grade. So the cool thing in Arlington is where I'm from, in 8th grade, you can start playing high school sports. So it was kind of cool. So me and my best friend to this day, Sam, we were the only two people that played high school football.
In 8th grade.
Yeah, in 8th grade. So I remember like Thursdays was like freshmen. We can only play freshmen though. I remember like Thursdays.
It's like junior varsity, right?
Is that no? So there's freshman, JV,
freshman,
and then there's varsity. Okay. But I remember like we used to get to wear our jerseys, and like we'd be the only two people in all of our middle school with high school jerseys. Like we thought we was a shit.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. It's like we already in high school. You messing around with high school girls already.
Yeah,
that's a life. So that is a life in 8th grade. I can imagine that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool just being able to walk around. You got your high school jersey on. In middle school though, it was dope.
But back to 11th grade though. So what was so special besides football? Like what was like the most memorable thing in 11th grade? So you want to revisit the whole year? Yeah,
man. It was just one of those years where it's like the football season was like one of my best ever seasons, you know, as a player. And it's like I met like some really dope people during my 11th grade year. And I remember it was just like there was really no specific time, you know. It was just one of those times where it's like you woke up every day, it's like, man, I can't wait to go to school, you know? And just had a good time, man. You know, I was blessed to have a good upbringing, man.
Okay, well, yeah. You talked about the past a little bit. How's life right now?
Life is great, man. You see this hat I got on? See this hat? I'm wearing this hat for...
It is February. We're recording this, and I guess your guys are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Your guys
I ain't wearing this hat for nothing.
You know? So let's say it now. Are you going to predict something for the game? The game's like in a week away.
Ain't no prediction. It's already done.
So you guys are winning because this is going to come out.
Oh yeah, no, we won already.
So this is coming out after the Super Bowl.
No, we won.
So you guys are won.
Okay.
You guys heard that, right? He said they won.
We won.
How many points?
We won. We won by a touchdown.
By one touchdown?
We won by a touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player on the Eagles? When you're talking about the Eagles, like if you had to like wear a jersey, I guess.
Brian Dawkins.
I don't know nothing about football, so I don't know who that is.
This man asked me a football question.
I don't know about football. I don't. I'm a geek at heart.
People
watching it.
No, Brian Dawkins was a Eagles player. He played in the early 2000s. He was a safety. Probably one of the best safeties ever.
Okay.
You know, just his passion for the game, like his energy was crazy every single game. And it's like, and even to this day, it's like I follow him on IG, and it's like you can tell like the love he had for like the game and like for the team. And
Why do you love the team?
why do I love the team?
Why do you love the team?
You know, it's funny.
From Arlington.
Yeah, so the very first game I ever went to was
First of all, I don't want to cut you off. I don't hate it, but it's like, why everybody, we need a football team, bro. Nobody from the DMV reps the DMV football team.
I mean, you got the Redskins. I mean,
the Commanders,
the Washington Commanders.
Nobody reps it though, bro. Nobody reps it. So I ain't even cut you off, but like it's the Eagles.
You know what pisses me off about the DMV is that there's more Cowboys fans than Commanders fans. Tom, if you listen to this, you whack, son.
Whack.
You whack. I got a jersey for you. It's green, midnight green.
I started muting them, bro. whenever there was a game the Cowboys was playing, I muted them on IG because I hated seeing it.
You should have saw all the responses I was giving them when they lost. It's funny. As soon as the clock hit 0, I had my phone in my hand.
Ready.
I already had Tom pulled up. I was like, he about to get this work right now because he was talking so much smack. But but it's the DMV and Cowboys fans. I can't stand y'all, man. It's crazy.
So why are you an Eagles fan?
Yeah, no, like I was saying, my very first game ever was a Eagles-Giants game when I was a kid. And ever since then, it's just one of those things where like I can remember, like I can still see it. You know, I can hear the crowd. I can, so like my very first interaction to like a live game was the Eagles. And I just stuck with it, man. I was a kid, and ever since then, I just stuck with it.
All right. So besides your favorite team going to the Super Bowl, how's business?
Business. Business is it's challenging.
Elaborate.
It's challenging, man. It's challenging yet rewarding. Right. So like when you think of when you think of owning your own business, a lot of people think of like money, you get all this time freedom. You ever saw that meme where it's like you traded in your 9 to 5 to work 24/7? Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. I said, no, bro. If I can work a regular job and make the amount of money that I want to make, I will do it.
Bro, oh my goodness, bro. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I would kill to work, to be able to clock out, right? I would love it. Like I took being able to clock out for granted. Cause like right now, like business is moving so fast, right? It grew way faster than I thought it was going to grow, right? So like I picked up a camera. I forgot. Oh, I've always had a camera, but I got really serious in like, it was like 2019 or something like that. It was 2019. And then like,
18.
Yeah, it was the end of 18
because that's when I started.
Yeah,
that's when we started working.
Yeah, it was the end of 18, and then it just took off. Like I feel like I just woke up and I was like I had a business, and unfortunately, like I didn't grow up with the type of like role models that like own their own businesses, right? And so everything was just new to me, and everything was happening so fast, and unfortunately, I had to like make a lot of mistakes in order to learn, and I'm still learning, and I'm still making mistakes. And I say it's challenging because everything is still new, like things are still growing. And I'm just not too, like, it's just hard sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't grow up with the entrepreneurial mindset. Mm-hmm. And so when people think you own a business, like they just see the work part of it, right? Like they just see us out taking the pictures at the wedding, but they don't see all the back end, the behind the scenes. Like that's what I wasn't
before
really,
and after.
The before and after.
It's 2 parts of it.
It's 2 parts of it.
3 parts. It's actually any like film production, even like film production. I like breaking it down. That's the best way because it's 3 parts. You got the actual production, then you got the post production, and you do that as a photographer too. You got a when that's you consulting with your clients. Yeah. That's you doing emailing, sending out invoices, making sure your website's straight. Yeah. Then you got the actual you shooting. And then you got your post, then that's you collecting your payments. Yeah. That's you editing the work. That's you reviewing it with them.
It's a lot. And people don't understand like how much that goes into it, And I just wasn't ready for that, man. And so, but luckily, like I've met some really dope people, like since starting photography. Mm-hmm. So now, like I've been able to see their processes, and they've been able to throw me some gems And I'm getting better, man. But it's still a challenge. But it's majority of it's a blessing, man.
Okay. I'm gonna give you guys some background. So I met Demetric. I don't know if it was it must have been 2018 because that's when I quit my job.
I think so. It was when was that wedding? Shout out Mark Jones.
I met Demetric through a mutual friend, Mark Jones, and I think 2018 because that's when I was doing Snapper heavy. Yeah, 2018. I was on Sniper Heavy, and it was towards the end because I think that's when we had that wedding towards the end of 2018. Mm-hmm. And so towards the end of 2018, a buddy, Mark Jones, had asked me to shoot video for a wedding, and that's when I met Demetric. And I remember him asking me about Sniper because you was still working a regular job.
Yep.
Right, and you was asking me about Sniper because you wanted some more income because you wanted to quit your job.
Yep.
Me, I recklessly quit my job. Like so. I don't have any kids. I'm not dating. I wasn't dating at the moment. Still not dating. I'm finding myself. I find myself now. I'll be dating next year. But I'm digressing. But so I quit my job really recklessly.
Yeah.
Demetric had got kids, however. So that type of situation is totally different. But I remember you asking me about Sniper, like how much income I was getting from it. And I was like, it's good enough for me. Because I ain't got no real responsibilities.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's good enough for me. And then like a year later, I beat this dude again. I saw him shooting weddings a lot heavier than I was. So I think I asked you to shout at you, did some free gigs with you. And then I just so happened to look at his invoice account. I was like, damn, this nigga doing way better than me financially.
Tell me, how'd you end up looking at my invoice account?
I'm taller than you. And so he was just on his phone like this, going through his invoices. And I just saw a lot of digits. I didn't see exactly. I just saw a lot of digits. I was like, and I was still making like 40K.
Yeah.
I was averaging 45K a year, and I saw that, and that made me hit six figures because I saw my man's doing this thing, and that made because it take you to see another black guy, another person in your same circumstances doing it. It sometimes take that because like everybody I was hanging around with, like I don't want to say I was at the top, but I was at the top of the pier. You know, like I was making enough money to sustain myself.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't enough. And then that, like I tell people about business all the time, you need to make 50K because that's how much you need to survive in DC. You actually need 80 to 120 to survive in DC. Mm-hmm. But if I make 50, that means my business needs to make 50K because my business got expenses too. Yeah. And then if you really want to make money, which is the profit on top of it, that means you need to make you need to clear 150K for your business every year. Mm-hmm. Just so those three, because there's three components. Exactly. You, the business, and profit.
Exactly.
So, but my question is, how did that jump happen? Like, that jump from Jamar, how can I make some extra cash to Jamar? This is how you do it.
You know what it is? It was, I selfishly, is that the word? It's not selfish.
Selfishly, I think.
Selfishly, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
I selfishly, like, I didn't really... How can I put this? Like my main goal was to just put some points up, right? I didn't care where the points came from. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the issue with some people is that like when they start something, they feel like they have to start up here, you know? But I didn't care where I started. And so what I did was I started reaching out to as many people as possible that was in the position that I wanted to be in, right? Because like that's how you find your blueprint. It's like you can find someone else doing it and see if they're willing to help you. And that's exactly what I did. And I just worked my ass off, man. You know, I was taking jobs for $50, $60, $70, $100. And then what I did was I was working with a lot of bigger people. And then I was able to accumulate the work and show the world that I was capable of charging way more than what I was charging. And then so just like step by step, I just gradually increased what I was charging because I believed I was worth way more than I was charging. It's funny, I have a friend, really good photographer named Jay, and we always talk about like when we started doing weddings. I remember I did a wedding in someone's kitchen. You know what I mean?
Like a whole ceremony?
Yeah, they had a wedding like in their house, and it was like, huh?
Was it a nice house?
No, it was like an apartment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was an apartment.
I need to see those pictures.
Yeah, and like I remember I think I made like $450 working like 5 hours.
Oh,
right?
That's like negative.
Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't care though. Because like I was just grinding. I was in hustle mode, and then like you said, I was still working full time. And so all the photography income I was making was just extra. All right.
That's 2018, right?
Yeah. No, this was 2019, but by then it was 2019. It was extra. And then I just had the mindset of like the money didn't matter right now. And then I just continued to accumulate that work with other people. And then I just can gradually just increase my pricing. And then I turned around, I had a business. I was like, oh shit. So I gotta manage this.
So when did it increase? Like what's that time frame? So if 2019, like when did you start really charging the appropriate amount for what year? It's 2023 now.
Yeah.
We worked 2022, so I know that you was killing it 2022. So 2020, 2021, which year was the year for you?
If I'm being honest, I'm still not charging the appropriate amount.
I know that. But we doing a lot better than a lot of other people. So to get the 6 figures, let's say that. To get your business to 6 figures, what year was that?
2020.
2020, the year of COVID,
yeah,
which is crazy. But the year of COVID, you hit 6 figures.
Yeah, I think if I'm not
2
mistaken,
years after you started.
Yeah. Well,
or a year.
I guess I will. Let me backtrack a little bit. So, like 2018 is when I was kind of playing around with just learning and stuff.
That's failure. Yeah.
Exactly. So like 2019. It was like April or May is when I got my like first real like paying gig.
You know how much it was?
It was $90.
$90?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an engagement session.
Okay, like like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was there for like 2 hours.
Okay.
I was there for like 2 hours. It was $90. It was like April or May. From April or May until December, I made like $50,000.
2019.
2019.
Okay.
And then 2020, that's
still crazy, bro. Like I said, I was still stuck at 45 between the whole year.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. That's what I'm saying. It grew fast. And then 2020, the business brought in like $140,000. And I was like,
and that's you charging what, $200-$300 an hour?
I can't remember. I think I was charging. I worked a lot, bro. I was grinding.
So it was more quantity.
It was way more quantity. Okay. Way more quantity. Like, yeah, my family hated me.
You had no time for them?
I had no time for them. Like, I was in the computer all day editing, man. If I wasn't editing, I was driving somewhere to go do a job.
So you brought family up. So let's dwell into that a little bit. How do you now that you are where you are?
Yep.
How's the work-life balance?
It's something that I'm gonna always be working on. It'll never be perfect. I struggle with this so much. Because like the crazy thing is, it's like I'm the type of person like once I see I can do something, I want to start doing more.
Okay.
And so like now I have other endeavors. And so now like I'm like, man, it's like I have this and I have this and I got my family and I got my spouse and like it's all a juggling act that like, if anyone got any tips, like, like help a brother out. Like, I don't know how to manage it all, and it's like one of those things I'm constantly just trying to figure out, like, how to even all of these things out. And I don't think you do, man. To be honest, like, especially if you have like that mindset of constantly you're wanting to grow and improve and accomplish, and it's kind of hard to turn that off. And that's why going back, I was like. Sometimes I wish I just had like a high paying 9 to 5 and to be able to have that luxury to just turn that switch off. Cause I can't turn the switch off, man. It's always on. And my family does pay for it. Like, bless my family, man. Like they support me so much cause like they deal with all my all my craziness.
Your girl, does she help contribute to your success a little bit?
1,000%. 1,000%. Like 2020, when I was just grinding, I was working all the time. Like, she was at home, like taking care of the kids. Like when I have them, like her main thing is like, how can I help you? Like, what do you need? Like, what's the best way I can support your dreams? So now, like, as of right now, she pretty much owns half my business. So like, so I got to keep her.
Okay, because me as a single man, me and my dating life, it's kind of crazy because I'm building my business and it's hard for a lady to get attached because it's like I can't go out all the time. No. I can't party all. I'm in work mode and I'm working 24/7, and it's like I got to find time to be able to date myself. Yeah. And then it's like, even if I had a girl, like, I'm like, that's what I'm looking for in a partner. Like, how can you help contribute? Like, so she saw your vision, because that's hard. It's hard for people to see your vision. Exactly. On what's going to happen. Exactly. It's like, you guys ever have like a talk when you was like, I'm going to grind this out. I'm not going to be doing a lot. And then she like, what type of conversations did you guys like ever have about your business?
Man, the cool thing is like, she was just already so involved, and like, she already saw, like from the get-go, like she met me as a motivated person, So a conversation almost didn't even need to happen, because like she's constantly reassuring me that like she got my back, So, and like she knows that like my main goal is to make sure that we're all good, and so she's willing to do whatever she can to help support that dream. So, bless her, like we didn't really have that type of conversation because she already had that mindset that she was going to be there and support no matter what,
Okay. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. And for you, man, like I couldn't imagine being like single right now. Like I'd be, oh my goodness, like it's so hard. Like
it is, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I would like, because like you would have to find somebody that would be like just as motivated as you, or someone that can understand like the grind. Be like, nah, baby, we ain't going out tonight.
I got it, or even like the lifestyle in itself. Because like before, my focus was on weddings. I used to shoot a lot of models. Like I got some on a shelf right here. Right, so like even just the life when I used to be more on the entertainment side of photography. They're like, and I'm staying out at the club late and stuff like that. Like I used to deal with situations where like trust issues would pop up. It's like, ain't got nothing to do with me, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm working. I ain't doing nothing else but focused on the grind. I ain't focusing on nothing but my business and my money. But in their head, it's something totally different. Mm-hmm. And so dating and being a photographer and being in this lifestyle, it is difficult. And there's ways you do have to maneuver. And like I'm waiting for the one that can see my vision and understand the lifestyle. Because it takes those two components.
Yeah. So what do you think is the biggest difference between Jamar in 2018, 17, 18, and versus the Jamar now?
I make a lot more money now.
For sure.
Thank you, by the way. I can give my man his flowers.
Yeah. Paid him almost $50K.
I mean, you paid the boys because I was passing along, and that's how you do it in the community. You give me some K because I pass it on to some other dudes. Like out of that 50, I probably at least paid $15K to other people. Yeah. Throughout the year, but difference. That's good. He asking me questions now. He on my phone. I would say I understand a lot more about the work-life balance. Yeah. Because it's like I said, I'm single, but I have my family here in DC. But even before that, like I wouldn't go hang with them or nothing like that. Yeah. It was at a point in time, like, so my brothers, they all got 3 kids each. I got 6 nieces and nephews. Yeah, nice. And Christmas is hard as hell. Oh, and so for a period of time, like my first brother, his kids, like especially like my niece Zaire, she hated me when she was born. Like when she first came out, like the first 2 years of her life, when I would come by, because they would see me like, they legit like saw me like I want to say like 3 times within 1 year. Yeah. Like 3 times they would see me. And so they didn't know me. Damn. They didn't know me. They would be scared of me when I came past. And it really hurt me, bro. Yeah. It got to the point like I was treating my niece like I used to treat girls. I used to use money to get her affection. Like I was like, hey, you want $1? Yeah. Whenever I was serious, so they were like, oh, this is the dude that give me money. And so I don't have to do it anymore now though, because now I make it a fact for me to go see them. So like now my little brother, he has 3 kids now, and 2 were just born. Like his youngest, like she like maybe like a year and a half. Gotcha. And the other one was like 2.5. So I see them as much as I can. I go there all the time, and his girl will like post when they know that I'm coming. Yeah. Or because they always ask for me now. I don't like they love me. So like I've learned workplace. It is important, your work-life balance. Sure. So it is very important. So speaking of work-life balance and just let's go to our mental states. So my next question is, what's some triggers for you that can get you down or depressed?
Dang, it's heavy, man.
Yeah, we getting real. Let's get real podcast.
Get real.
Triggers are very important. You need to understand what your triggers are.
You know, the one thing I love right now is that, like, I feel like everyone's being more honest about how they feel about themselves and their mental health.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't sit here and say I battle depression, you know, because I don't. I feel like if I say that, then I'm going to be disrespecting the people that actually battle true depression, you know, because I've seen it. And I know you told me you dealt with it. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'll never say that. But, you know, there are times in my life where things do get heavy, you know. Unfortunately, I've had to deal with a lot, like, growing up, right? Like, one of the biggest things, like, for me is that I lost a parent, you know, young, you know. And I had a lot of, like, regret around that whole situation, like, during the time of, like, my mom's passing. And
that's crazy because when now you say it, like, I've known you for a minute. Actually, I've never heard you talk. I didn't know that. I didn't know that beforehand. I never heard you talk about your mom.
No, yeah.
Well, now that you bring it up, I've never heard because I hear you talk about your father all the time. You talk about him yesterday.
Yeah.
But now that I know, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, like, I think. So, like, even, I know we always have this therapy talk, try and get this man to go to therapy.
That's my next conversation. I'm leading to that.
But, you know, some of the things I'm trying to work through is, like, the regret that I have with, like, the feeling of, like, not doing enough, you know, and not being there enough. Because, like, my entire family's from South Carolina. So my mom lived in South Carolina and I was here. And my mom died in 2014. So I don't know. I think I was 20. I was like 23, like 24, 25. Okay. But anyways, like I had kids already, right? And so like I was just so consumed with my life here that I would say that I kind of disregarded, you know, a lot of things that was going on out there because I was just so busy with my life here, you know? And it's just like the way it all planned, the way like that, like her death, like played out, like it never sat right in my soul, you know, and that's something that like I'm definitely still trying to work through, you know. But other than that, man, it's like that situation was also, you know, like a blessing, right? Because like during that time, like I was going through like a separation with my first kid's mom. And then I was like going through like homelessness and like just a lot of BS. And then all that was like in the same year. You know what I mean? So it was a lot. And so during that time, like I found personal development. You know, I was never an avid reader, but I remember like just having conversations with people, like people started recommending books and stuff to me. And then I started reading more. And then that's when I learned how to like elevate the mind and elevate the spirit and like how to increase your the waves. What's it called? Yeah, increase your waves in the universe and be more vibrant. Increase your vibration. There you go. That's what I was trying to. And increase your vibration in the world. And I would say that kind of started like my journey on like just trying to be a better person, to be a better man. And I was already a father during that time, so being a better father. And I equate going through all of that to the person, you know, I am today.
Okay. So when a trigger comes and you do get down, what are some ways that you have learned to cope or not deal with it, but, you know, like power through it?
Yeah, the very first thing I do is I'm honest with myself, all right? a lot of times people will feel it. They'll feel it coming, and like they'll ignore it, or they'll lie to themselves, right? What they say? Like when people go to rehab, the first step to rehab is admitting that you have a problem, right? And so like when I feel that feeling, I admit, okay, I feel like I'm crashing, you know? So the very first thing I do is whatever I'm doing, I try to stop, you know, and I dig into those feelings and then I get moving, right? So like fitness is something that I'm very passionate about. And so like I'll go to the gym, I'll go outside, I'll call a friend, you know, not even to talk like my feelings out, but just to talk, you know, just anything that can like increase my vibration, you know? So a lot of times it's like, I go to the gym, you know, when I start feeling that feeling coming on. But the biggest thing is like recognizing when it's coming on and admitting to yourself that, you know, you are feeling some type of way. Because a lot of people tend to ignore it. And that's when, you know, like shit gets bad for most people, you know?
Okay. So you're an avid promoter of going to therapy.
Yes.
So all Black men need therapy, right?
Yes, I believe so. I never did believe that though, because like in the Black community, at least for me and like the people I grew up with, like going to therapy, I know a lot of people like my family specifically would say only crazy people go to therapy.
We all a little crazy though,
you know.
Yeah. And
so like therapy was just like this looked down upon things. Like you don't need to talk to nobody, you know? And you do. And that's why I feel like a lot of specifically Black men are emotionally like damaged nowadays. It's because like we spent so much of our lives just holding in those feelings and just lying to ourselves, right? Or not even lying to ourselves, but we lived in a fear of showing that emotion because we're afraid of the judgment.
We're taught not to show those emotions.
Exactly. Right. And a lot of Black fathers specifically are a lot of times like the head of the household, like we're the rocks, you know, like, so why the hell would we break down or like if we broke down, like how are we supposed to be strong for our family? So now we're gonna feel this, and we're gonna tuck it under the rug, our emotional rug, you know. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is just hurting yourself, and eventually you're gonna start hurting your family if you keep doing that. But I am a big avid believer in learning how to talk your feelings out. And the thing with therapy is not like you go and like you start seeing like immediate results, because like we have so many years and so many layers that we've built up from being that way that it takes a while for you to be able to even break down those barriers to be able to express your feelings in a way you need to.
That's a good point.
You know, because I remember I was very closed up. I had so many guards up. Because I didn't believe in therapy when I started going, you know, credit to Devin, my spouse. Like she not pushed me, but she, because she was going and then she motivated me to go. Because she did recognize that like I dealt with things.
So she, when you first started going to therapy, she told you to go, she the one that told you to go?
Well, we started doing couples therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we started doing couples therapy, and then like just as we started doing that, then like she started recognizing that I was going through things, and she started recommending that like I should, you know, personally just go by myself. And that's how I started. But yeah, like even when I first went, like I just had so many barriers up.
I was like, so your first therapist when you went solo, were they white or Black?
You know, it's funny. I still don't know where she's from. She won't tell me.
But your therapist?
Yeah.
You don't know what she is?
Nah.
And what she look like?
No, she's I mean, she's dark skinned. Like
so she's a person of color.
Yeah, she is a person of color.
Sorry.
But I don't know what country she's from though.
But she's a person of color. That's what
she is. She's a person.
I know that's one stigma, because that's how. So I went to therapy. I went to therapy when I was in 8th grade because I had a attention tantrum problem in a Catholic school, and I got expelled. And they told my mom I couldn't come back. No, that's how I went to therapy.
Damn.
And it didn't work. And so I went to a therapist, and it was this old little white lady.
Yeah.
And it was like I couldn't feel no connection with, like I'm talking to this old. I can't feel no connection because you don't know my struggle, you don't know the stories that I go through, and it's like I already don't want to talk my stuff to a stranger. Now I'm talking to this old white lady that I feel like is judging me.
Yeah.
So like, how was your experience when you first did therapy? Like the judgmental part, like did you go in saying I'm gonna just tell my story? Or did she have to get it out of you?
Yeah, no. So that's what I was saying in the beginning, that like when you first go, like you're gonna go in with so many barriers, right? And so for me, when I first went, I didn't like throw up my feelings on the person. Like it started off with them asking me a lot of questions, and like I would give them short answers, because I was just so guarded. And then it took a few times for me to like, and I even still struggle to this day, because I'm not the most emotional person. I don't know how to openly share my feelings when I'm feeling them, and I'm still learning how to do that. But it definitely took me a few times before I could even break down like 2 barriers to even, let her know that some of the things I was going through. So, but once you learn how to do it, it's almost a freeing feeling, like when you're able to do it though.
So what's some things that she has taught you within therapy to help you with your mental stability?
So my bad. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. So one of the biggest things that like I've learned is that for one, I journal. All right.
Okay.
So I have a journal, and whenever I'm feeling anything, I write it out. And like being able to like just write it out and look at it on paper like helps me like decipher like my true feelings. Because sometimes like when you're feeling something, you may not know like where it's coming from or what it's about. But like once you just start, just kind of just throwing up on a piece of paper, like you can start seeing the clues and some of the things you're writing. So I would say journaling is probably the biggest thing that I'm bad at it, but I don't do it often. But like there's a lot of benefit. Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,000%.
All right, so we're coming to a wrap on the show. So my final questions for you is, what's top 3 business mistakes that you did?
That I did?
That you did. 3 business failures.
So my first one, like I was mentioning before that, like I struggled with all the back end stuff. So my first one is I didn't do enough research on the accounting aspects of running a business. Like y'all, trust me. Like learn. Oh my goodness. Like learn the back end. Like find out your weaknesses and then hire those people to do those parts for you. I came in thinking that I could do everything myself, and I was just failing really fast. Number 2 would be, let's see, my mistakes. Number 2, I would say is not charging what I'm worth fast enough. Not realizing my true potential that I was putting forth through photography, right? So one of the issues with not charging what you believe what you're worth is that once you're working, you may not put forth your best, And
that's like you working a gig and you getting peeved off and during a gig, and your first thought is, I'm not making enough money for this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you'd be like, man, I'm not, how much I'm making for this is not worth it.
It's not worth it. I get it.
And it's like you'll find yourself like not getting the extra angles, like not really like giving your all, So if you're feeling like that at all, if you're a creative, that means you're not charging what you think you're worth. So increase those prices, it's increase those prices. And my last thing is like, don't be afraid to say no, I think I just dropped this on my Instagram the other day, is that like whatever you figure out what your goals and your visions are, like whatever that comes along in your life that don't align with any of that, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Yeah.
So that's the end of it. It was a good show.
Oh, I mean, I killed it.
You killed it. All right, so let everybody know where they can reach you at, and like all your socials and everything.
Yeah, for sure. My main social is Instagram. You can find me at United Photography. I should be the very first person that pops up. Go ahead, give me a follow. I'll follow you back.
And what type of services do you provide, all in all? Yeah,
so my main thing is weddings. We do a lot of weddings, but I do a lot of corporate stuff, headshots, and then eventually we're going to get this space together, and then we'll be doing a lot of like content creation and headshots in here as well. So anything photo related, and events as well. We got to pay this rent, but anything photography related, just reach out.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out our Studio Space DMV Instagram and the YouTube that's going to come out. Yeah, because we're going to talk about building this studio up as Black men with no help.
I like it.
And no real direction. We just pulling this up out of our asses, to be honest. I like it. And so make sure you guys follow us for that. So this is the Let's Get Real podcast. This has been Jamar Denzel. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we're going to check you guys out next time.
Hey, appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for being on the show, man.
No problem.
All right. That's it. Peace, guys.